Coming up today on the Village Idiom.
Sure, the kids staying up.
Krampus only comes but once a year.
You want to sit on Krampus's lap?
No, don't make me sit on Krampus's lap. I gotta stuff you in this sack.
Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that takes a popular saying and takes a shallow, but hopefully, cross our fingers. It's like, cross your fingers.
Hope to die, stick a needle in your eye.
That it'll be slightly funny.
Oh
and
man,
entertaining.
here's some figgy pudding in your face.
Wow, just like that. But we will use today's idiom to hang our conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark, and beside me, as always, is Skinny.
Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas.
And to all, a good podcast. Whatever you're doing with your holidays, I hope you enjoyed your loved ones and were excessive in all that you did.
You sound like you're signing off already.
Oh, is it? I'm doing it.
Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This has been the Village Idiom.
We're just starting.
Oh, okay.
By the time we get to the end, we can do some of the.
We'll do some
the beginning business.
All right. Well, today's idiom goes a little something like this.
You're so considerate, bringing all this holiday cheer to the neighborhood.
Christmas comes but once a year.
Do you recognize that voice?
He sounds like, is it Phil Hartman?
That's Phil Hartman. Jingle All the Way. Arnold Schwarzenegger. And
oh, that's
Sinbad.
great.
What happened to Sinbad?
I don't know. He fell off hard.
Yeah.
But they were after some toy or something like that, right?
That's right. Yeah. The hot toy of the year.
That's funny. Do you
Is there
remember
one
all
this
that?
year? What, that movie, or when there's been like the toy of the century, the toy of the year?
It was like there were Rubik's Cube was one, the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Cabbage Patch. I think that started it because the Rubik's Cube was a fad, but was it at Christmas like the toy of the year?
There is
Because Tickle Me Elmo set records.
Tickle your what?
Tickle my elbow. Tickle Me Elmo. Do you remember Tickle Me Elmo?
Of course.
Yeah. People were like trampling over each other, and
yes,
Cabbage Patch. I think that was the beginning.
Well, I just don't get into like the more. I think you're pretty much the same way. Is that the more like mainstream it is, the less you like it?
For me,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'd get in line for my kids.
Yeah, you're a good dad.
Maybe. I'm trying to think.
You wouldn't. You're so lame. You would not.
I think I would, but I can't think of a time that I have.
I'd like to think I give my kids what they want, except I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, you might be right. Like,
Yeah.
there's not been a toy. Here's the Walmart knockoff of it.
Not even that. It's not even like a money issue or anything like that. It's just
people.
like it's everybody. As soon as it's like everybody wants, everybody's got to have
Suddenly
the.
it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny because when we go to like a restaurant or some sort of deli or something like that with you, we play that game where it's like, I wonder what Mark is gonna order here.
I look for the most obscure.
And then I can look through the menu and it'll be like, I don't know, just pick some weird country Guyana coconut maggots or something, and you're like, that's what he's having.
Yeah, totally.
That's what he's having.
Yeah, that's me. I was at a new restaurant last night with my kids for my birthday, kind of a delayed birthday get together, and the menu was great. But like me and one of my sons shared a charcuterie board, and it was like the thing that drew me in was smoked olives.
Right. And smoking them getting them on fire is the hardest part.
Lighting them is the hard part.
Yeah, definitely. That little red bit, it's not a pimento.
No, that's not
a firecracker or something.
Anyway, yeah, so I will try and think. If we missed it, we were talking more about Phil Hartman and the movie, but the idiom of the day is Christmas comes but once a year.
Christmas comes but once a year, which is ironic because a great many things just come but once a year.
But that's the one.
Like every day.
But
just
maybe,
comes once a year.
Yeah, that's true.
Halloween comes but once a year.
Date. Yeah, but the difference is the meaning behind this one, which is like you do good things. You go all in because it's Christmas, and it only comes once a year. So quit being a Grinch.
See, as I was thinking about it, I was thinking more in the vein of indulgence because Christmas is associated with like a little more over the top than normal.
Yeah.
And so, Christmas comes but once a year. It's like, hey, well,
might as well go all out.
Go all out now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you research the meaning of it, it's typically, same as in that clip, it's typically about goodwill to each other. Mm-hmm. Like, suck it up, be with your crappy family. Christmas comes but once a year. Like, show the goodwill, go all out, so give.
I didn't even, like, less than...
You should volunteer at this soup kitchen. Why? Christmas comes but once a year. Come on.
So you're much kinder. I framed it more in overindulging, like what you were gonna do that to excess. Yeah, so as opposed to like, hey, be kind and show brotherly love
You're gonna
one to
decorate
another.
No, I
like,
hear
well, Christmas comes once a year.
Christmas
Just
comes
like,
but once a year is just like
go for it. Just
Better
do
to
it.
give than to receive. Like it's giving. Focus on the giving. Christmas comes but once a year.
I
be selfish the rest.
Way
of the time.
more selfish in my interpretation of it. It was just go over the top. Yeah,
There is no interpretation. This is exact. A dozen is 12.
is it? We'll do all this again. Speaking of, we
Christmas?
going through some of last week's stuff, and it was really neat to see the people over this last couple of weeks who have chimed in.
Oh,
so we
yeah.
could probably go straight away and tell some people that they are winners of
Christmas comes but once a year.
Christmas comes but once a year.
And this year, it's not today.
Who do we got? Who do we got on our who is our on our good list?
We
this
kind
year?
of let the cat out of the bag last week when we said one person in particular who has chimed in from day one and has been a part of this. We've joked, we've made fun of him. We have
who is it?
Dang Alano is
Dang
getting
Alano.
a t-shirt. Dang Alano, if you're listening to this right now, you need to contact us. You need to give us the size of shirt that you want. If you're watching on YouTube, you can take a look at this beauty. Village Idiom Podcast t-shirt. We went with the logo. We kept it simple. We were bouncing around ideas like Village Idiom at children. And
Legitimate children, but
maybe that'll come later.
It got dark really quickly.
Yeah, so
who else? The Escalade was one of our winners.
Totally. He's playing the game almost every single week. The underscore Escalade.
And
He's getting a shirt. Let us know your size.
The fine lady, Mrs. Tanya
Barron.
Tanya Barron.
Tanya Barron is also
We
getting a
love
shirt.
her. We got a Village Idiom shirt just for you. But keep it all coming. We have
We got more.
we have several more shirts. So comment this week before the year's over. We want to get out a dozen shirts to make sure
At
that
least.
to make sure that your Christmas is
It's supply and demand. As the shirt
merry and
quantity dwindles, the more you'll have to work for it.
at the end.
Right now, it's easy.
Who's going to fit into a small at the very end?
We have this one toddler size left.
So like you would just put yourself into it.
So we're going to be giving. See? I was right. It's about giving.
We're not getting one though. It's like over the top. It's like a dozen. See, so it's
About a dozen?
It's about a dozen.
You know,
because it is about a dozen.
Where was I just today? Oh, I was buying Christmas presents and at this little makeup counter place, and she's like, "Hey, I don't know who you buying for." I said, "Oh, it's for my 11-year-old daughter. Did you know we do birthday parties?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, I didn't." And she's like, "Yeah, you can come in." I'm like, "Oh, she would love this. How many kids can I bring?" And she goes, "About a dozen." And I almost died.
See, because that's the reality.
I'm like, so 12?
That's
somewhere in there.
about a dozen. That's the
Anyway,
street,
that was last week. This is now.
the street cred.
Christmas
right there.
comes but once a year. Do you do anything, speaking of once a year, like is there anything that you or your family only do at Christmas? Like this is the one thing that comes out. This is the one thing that we do together. This is the one thing. You talked about chopping down the tree. There's some very specific Christmas related
So
things.
yes, we try and do that. That's obviously once a year.
Yeah.
Not just like it's like, oh, it's the July 1st. It's Canada Day. Chop a tree down. Let's celebrate the beavers and
You let the
and
beaver
lose.
pick your tree and chop it down.
Exactly. It's one of those things. A Christmas tradition one is on Christmas Eve. We like to do rice porridge.
Really? Rice pudding?
Porridge.
Rice porridge?
Yes.
Not sure I know what that is.
So instead of instead of boiling the milk and water, or boiling the rice in water, you boil it in milk.
Okay.
Yeah, and so rice porridge. So it's way thicker. Think like rice pudding meets oatmeal.
Really?
Yeah, so it's just a way.
I love rice pudding.
It's thicker. Like think more.
So is it
oatmeal.
sweet at all, though?
Yep. Yeah, but you add your own sugar because that's just how we roll.
Do you add raisins?
Nope. Or you could if you wanted to.
Because you know what you'd have if you added raisins?
rice pudding that's
Rice
thick.
pudding.
Some people are just dead set against that.
You're dead set
How
against
about
calling
you?
it what it is.
What
Dozen is 12. Christmas comes once a year, and there's no such
This
thing
is
as
why
rice
that
soup.
idiom
It's rice
was
pudding.
enraging to you. It's like it's been a week.
I like
and
black
you can't
and
let
white.
It go.
I like black and
You
white. I
can't
live
let
in
it go.
black and white. There's no gray.
What about Christmas traditions for you?
Well, the thing that popped into my mind immediately is something we started when we were, actually, I guess I was in high school, so not when we were little kids, but with my side of the family, we get together for a meal and whatnot, and the tablecloth, it's the same tablecloth we've been using since then. And after dinner, we get out some pencil crayons and you draw.
Fold it like the flag
No,
into a triangle.
You draw where you're sitting, you draw something. Maybe it reflects your year or your Christmas, or maybe it's a couple little words and you sign it, and it stays on that tablecloth forever. In fact, my mom will embroider it before the next Christmas. So it's stitched in whatever you drew.
What if someone passes on? Is it any old grandparents that used to have a spot?
There's definitely some visitors that have been there that are no longer with us.
Oh, even visitors get to get.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah. So if anybody's with us.
And then your mom embroiders it in, so it's permanent.
So it's permanent.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The real.
Speaking of passing on, the real question between me
one.
and my siblings is, who gets this?
Oh, and that kind of passing it on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who is going to get this? So we've actually, 2 years ago, we went on to tablecloth number 2 because it was just getting
that sounds disgusting. Oh, that kind of number 2. Yeah.
Tablecloth. Favorite number 2 to tablecloth?
It's like a scratch and sniff tablecloth.
Stitch this in, Mom.
So disgusting. So, and my second one.
Oh, okay.
Because that was so good, I had to bring mine to the party. Prior to having children, my wife is a nurse and she works shifts, and so it could be Christmas that I'd just be sitting there like, Christmas, this is so fun, and so she'd be working. We'd go have like dinner in the hospital cafeteria kind of thing. But every Christmas morning, my good friends Kurt and Heather would invite me over for Christmas breakfast.
Awesome.
And so if it was just me, and then as Deb was able, then she jumped in, and then now that we've all had kids and whatnot, it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And so every Christmas morning,
Your friend Kurt is still whipping up a masterpiece.
Invite ourselves over to their house and eat Christmas breakfast in like pajamas.
Have you ever had to knock more than once? Like,
No, they're always ready to go.
Drawn, and it's like, let's see if the McLarens will go home.
He's a good cook, and he puts together like a feast of waffle and compote.
Is that how you say that?
I don't know. It's compote.
Compost?
I don't know. If there's a little French in there, compote.
Compote.
It has to be. So,
I don't know.
yeah, whipped cream, a little compote on your tablecloth.
Stitch that. I work with kids. Okay. And today I spent some time in a preschool class and was telling the Christmas story. And so I asked all the kids, hey, tell me what's a part of Christmas? Tell me what you have to have in Christmas. And of course it was like, Christmas tree, you got to decorate the Christmas tree. And they're rattling off all the things. I love presents, Santa Claus, singing, all these things. My grandma and grandpa come over. This one girl, because I was getting to the point of telling the Christmas story as in the birth of Jesus. That's what I was going to.
That's where you're going.
That's where I was going with it. But this little girl beats me, little 4-year-old beats me the punch. She goes, actually, Christmas is all about baby Jesus. He was born as a baby, and so was I, and my mom fed me with her boobs. And I'm like, well, that's probably how baby Jesus.
All right, everyone. Have you ever heard of rice porridge?
I was like,
yes, it is.
There's other teachers in the room, and there's actually practicum students right now, and you just see everyone doubled over. Like, oh man,
the kids are so innocent.
Stuff
and cute.
you hear in a preschool class is phenomenal.
This is the best. It got me thinking about stuff that Christmas comes once a year. Before we jump in on, let's jump in on the origins, and then I'll get to my little pensive.
All right.
I said some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know.
Jingle bells.
Turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
Quick on the fly with the jingle bells. Actually, we added that in post.
Where did all this come from anyway?
Well, I thought you're gonna save your story. You were about to say something, and you're like, "Wow, let's get into origins."
Well,
save it.
Let's do some origins, and then I'll come back to it.
All right, this one's interesting because when you start digging in, a lot of resources or sources, say that this they refer to it as a proverb, and so less of an idiom. It's for sure not an idiom, actually.
It's not in the Proverbs.
It's not in the Bible. The proverb may have originated from an animated short film with the same title that came out in 1936. And so the setting of that film, it's animated, think old. You know that like scratchy sounding looking cartoon.
Talking Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. In color, though. So whatever timeline that fits in. The setting of the film is an orphanage. On Christmas Day, the orphans are excited to play with their new toys, only to find out that everything is broken and damaged. So, Professor Grampy I watched the whole thing.
What did you?
Professor Grampy, seeing their distress, decides to make brand new toys out of various household items. So he dresses up as Santa Claus. He rushes in to give them all their new presents. He makes a Christmas tree out of some old umbrellas and saves the day, saves Christmas. And the overall message of the film that it doesn't take much to make the less fortunate happy. So like, Christmas comes but once a year, go the extra mile.
Have you heard of Krampus? When you talk about Krampus.
Yes. Professor Krampus?
Professor Krampus, but it's not like Professor Krampus.
Yeah,
Krampus,
I can't remember the details of
he's
it,
like a
but I know that
German,
Dwight
like-
on The Office always talked about
He's
it.
in the Hans Christian Andersen kind of era of things. Krampus.
Specific country, I think?
I think he's German.
Okay.
The Christmas demon.
Yeah.
And so his sack is not filled with toys. His sack is to abduct children that have been bad. And so it's less on like the upbeat cheery. It's more like the child abduction.
See, that would be
way darker than the
like,
regular Christmas.
Picture the kids staying up.
Krampus only comes but once a year.
You want to sit on Krampus's lap?
No, don't make me sit on Krampus's lap. I gotta stuff you in this sack.
You have to think of the kids staying up late at night, they hear the jingle bells. Oh, I think Santa's here. They go out and then
It's Krampus
dragging you up the chimney.
I know who's been naughty. Yeah, what a terrifying thing. But I guess, different cultures, I guess. Who might I say one culture is better than another?
No, not I.
Not I.
Right. So that's what many sources say is the original. In fact, here's a little clip from that cartoon. There it is.
Christmas comes but once a year. That's funny.
Yeah. So it's super old. You can see it when you watch it, but
This whole thing got me thinking about stuff that's like less once in a year and more once in a lifetime.
Okay.
Stuff that is just so special. It's like Christmas comes once a year, and then it's like then there's stuff that's like so extraordinary that you'd be lucky to do it in a lifetime.
Like the birth of a child.
Crazy to see a child being born.
Right.
You're like, that's insane. But you can have like multiple children, I suppose.
Or meeting Chris Farley.
That's crazy.
That happened. It might have happened again, but he passed away.
Yeah. And like, what else would you put on that list of things that you're like
that have actually happened to me? That's
Sure.
only going to be once in a. One that we have together that is most likely once in a lifetime is we jumped out of an airplane together.
Yep, that's true.
That was once in I'm glad we experienced it.
We dinghied across the Fraser River.
Yep. That might not be once in a lifetime.
No, we could do that again.
You've already done it more than once.
It was an actual canoe next time. But what other things do you have on your list that you're like, you know what, before I
like a
pass on to this
bucket
next
list kind of thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I'll for whatever reason, I've always wanted to go to Australia.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Do you have someone to go with?
I'm open to suggestions.
Let me think of someone.
I don't know why. Like I've always there's something about it. There's something about it, and something. I think it was. I have a couple of cousins that when the younger brother graduated, they took 3 months and went to New Zealand.
That sounds
and the
really
story
fun.
like they went with no plans. They landed and bought a station wagon, which was their home for 3 months, and they just went wherever they felt like, slept in it. And the stories they have and the stuff they did, I'm like, that's the best.
That is cool.
You know, like just no plans, the kind of their gap year kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I enjoy the offbeat stuff.
Totally.
And so I got to go to Groundhog Day.
Oh yeah, you've done a few things
in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
You can, if you're listening, you can watch Skinny's trip to Punxsutawney.
Somewhere else on the channel. Go to the YouTube channel and search for Groundhog Day. So that
that's a good one.
Slept in an ice hotel.
Yeah,
we
went to the.
Pretty cool.
I don't know if it was the World Championship, but the air guitar nation.
It wasn't the championship, but it was like a semifinals.
Yeah.
For an air guitar champion.
Like that's like the weirder the better.
The intro to it's like, ladies and gentlemen, Bjorn to rock. And so, do you remember that guy?
Totally.
Bjorn to rock. It was so amazing. And so, when I think of Christmas comes but once a year, it's just the stuff that's like.
So once a year isn't that great? Once in a lifetime.
There's once in a lifetime.
Imagine what Christmas would be like if you got Christmas once in a lifetime.
Man, what would you do in that day?
You'd have to spend it at the North Pole. Or Bethlehem. I should have said Bethlehem first. Shoot.
In Germany. You should go. Well, you got to go to Germany for that.
For Krampus?
Yeah, Happy Krampus Day. That's for the people who've been bad.
Yeah. Okay, so
that was my pensive thought.
yeah.
Leading in.
Well, more in the origins. It doesn't come from that cartoon. It doesn't. I almost gave up when I'm like, this source says it's the cartoon. This source says it's the.
I also
animated
understand within that cartoon, he made a Christmas tree out of green umbrellas.
I said that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I appreciate all the attention you're giving me.
It's okay. And the other part within there is that he made a tree out of green umbrellas.
I watched it and I don't remember that.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the truth, though. The phrase does not come, like, the phrase existed in a poem from the 16th century English poet and farmer, Thomas Tusser. And he came from Essex. And here's the full quotation.
Tusser.
At Christmas play and make good cheer, for Christmas comes but once a year. Clearly, older source,
Right.
and clearly the exact wording. That is the origins of this.
He's going to win that one.
Yep. Thomas Tusser.
Thomas Tusser.
Thomas Tusser?
Christmas comes but once a year.
My son was just telling me about a comedian, in case people haven't picked up what we're doing here with the Tusser. And he's like,
They don't need to know.
no, they don't need to know. But I will tell you this little skit that he was watching where it was a fake montage of things, and it does this clip to a stand-up comic. None of it's real, right? This 2-second clip to a stand-up comic who just says, "Know her? I hardly know her."
That's funny.
I was laughing so hard.
This also amused me as it relates to if you happen to be seeing this or throughout this Christmas season, if you are wearing a Christmas
Santa hat?
Santa hat
Or any festive
it
headgear.
reminds me of like a graduation.
You got to move your, what do you call it, a pom-pom? Move your
Pom-pom, your
pom-pom to the
tassel
other side.
thing?
What, after Christmas, obviously.
Yes,
Once you've opened
before
your
the
gifts.
25th.
You
It's on
walk
the one
up to the
side.
patriarch of your family and they just gently move your Santa hat.
That's how you know Christmas is over. Well done.
That'd be great if that was part of it. So here's the thing,
There's
though.
a tradition that not many people have. After
Or
you've
any.
done your Christmas, well done.
He's shaking you. For those of you listening, we just posed for a graduation picture.
So stupid. But that would be a tradition that's like, we got a tradition that no one else
So here's the
has.
thing, though. Christmas doesn't come but once a year.
Comes for like 2 months if you live in North
but
America.
Like Ukrainian Christmas. If you live in Canada, you're probably celebrating Christmas on December 25th.
Right.
But if you're Ukrainian Canadian, you're probably also celebrating it in the first week of January. So for them, Christmas comes but twice a year. And Italy has one in the first week of January. Well, I think both of them relate to the Orthodox Church and the Julian calendar and all that. But yeah, this whole proverb is crap.
Christmas comes multiple times a year.
Yeah. If you have enough multicultural in your
Are there any more people exactly? If
in
you're
your
like,
family,
well, the Hawaiians, well, they do
you
this.
know, Mele Kaliki Maka.
Exactly.
That's probably the 25th, though. Most of the countries have evolved to be on the 25th, but
Yeah, however it ends up working, it's entirely possible that you have multiple Christmases.
yeah.
And so within that vein, everything within a year comes once a year.
I know, that's funny.
But Christmas, there's something special. It's a special thing.
Yeah,
So
it
that's
is. It is special. Well, it comes, but the point is going back to what I say the definition of it is whatever. October 11th comes but once a year too, but there's nothing about it. You don't have to particularly give on that date. But what?
Or like
if-
November 11th comes but once a year and nothing really happened then, I suppose.
Well, there's a little celebration.
Celebration.
Is this memorial?
Well, so is it just that it's the Christmas? Is that the part that makes
It's
it
the giving. Come on.
Okay.
Take off your bah humbug. Christmas comes but once a year.
I like it. I'm a fan
You
of
won't
Christmas.
even stand in line to get your kids that gift.
I don't know if I've ever...
Christmas comes but once a year.
Yeah.
The only time I've stood in line at a store was when the new trilogy of Star Wars started, and they were releasing Star Wars toys at midnight
Wow.
for episode 1.
Okay.
And so we stood outside of I think it was a Zellers or something like that in Richmond.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. Were you with me on that?
It's entirely possible.
I can't remember. I didn't buy anything, but I liked the experience.
I was the first in line at a Best Buy for
Oh yeah, tell this story.
It's nothing. There's no story.
There is.
Camping out in front of a Best Buy just for the experience to be first in line at a store.
And then, but
before the rush, and then I won a prize.
Yeah, you won. Yeah.
I won some Google product or something. I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
Once a year.
This is fun because December 20th that has already come and gone was the opening of Star Wars.
Yes.
And so a fun Star Wars.
Did you go
thing,
opening night?
Yes, of course. Yes,
haven't
but
been
I
yet.
will. No spoilers. No spoilers. But the last when episode 8 came out, my family dressed up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, so we made sure to. I think even my dad, we put him as like Han Solo, and everybody had a little kid.
Oh, even like
costume.
grandparents. And,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that was
awesome.
my dad and the 6 of us. So it's fun.
That's great.
But those little once in a lifetime, that's a little more offbeat.
We've started. I don't want to say every single year, but we've started hitting movies on Christmas Day late afternoon.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's good. Kind of everything's died down. Presents are opened. Your belly's full, and you're like, what do you want to do? So we've been talking about Star Wars being that.
Do it.
Yeah.
This is I think every year try and do something a little interesting, little something special, just to kind of like you're only here for a blip and then you're dead.
Wow. Merry Christmas, everyone.
That got dark. And so you try to take in as many experiences and do as many things they find interesting. And so this year, I'm still trying to sort it out in my mind what way would be interesting. But I want to have me and one of my kids sleep in a car for a week.
Oh, yeah. I heard you kind of talking about this.
Yeah, because I'm batting it around. I think I'm going to do it 2020 where...
But you're not that far off. Like, you go camping in a tent trailer for weeks.
No. I'm talking about sleeping in an actual car.
Like in your own driveway or what?
No. So we're trying to put rules around it that you can't sleep in the same spot, in the same... so I'm going to be sleeping on the street in my car with one of my kids.
You can't
and
sleep
he's
in
going
the
to
same
go to
spot
school.
in the car, or you can't park the...
Can't park the car in the same
So
spot.
during the school year...
During the school year...
No showers? Or
you have
work
to
that
shower every day. So we're trying to put up these rules to make it like a little more challenging.
Interesting.
So you have to sleep in a car, you have to shower every day, and I'm thinking you're going to have to prep all 3 meals from the car. So I have a house.
Lighter.
I have a house.
What are you allowed to bring? Because you've got some decent camping gear.
Well, this is it. So I'm thinking it'll be sometime in the spring.
And you can't spend more than whatever per day or something.
Yeah, I haven't sorted that part out yet. But yeah, so I think that's one of those once in a lifetime, hopefully. But I guess some people go like, I have to do that. You suck.
What? Why? Why do you want to do that?
There's people who choose to do van life.
Yeah. So that's why? You just want to, like, what?
No, why do I want to do it?
Yeah.
I just think it would be interesting. I'm curious about the experience.
Huh.
Yeah. So that if it ever, like, just hypothetically, if there was like some situation that jumped up where I needed to
Survive in a car.
Sleep in a
Now
car.
you know you can.
I can. No problem. I can cook meals. He can go to school.
I remember making pasta in a coffee maker in a hotel because it was just like, I can't afford to go out right now. That took forever.
That's tight times right there.
Yeah.
Good luck getting
Still
boiling
in a hotel.
water.
Still a roof over my head.
It's
and a
really
warm
good.
bed.
Yeah, I was in a hotel and I
It
had
was really rough.
So anyways, Christmas comes but once a year.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, before we kind of pack things through, make sure you comment on any one of our
Yes.
social media things, whether it's Instagram at the.village.idiom or email thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter at 3 Minutes Gone. Get yourself a shirt. And so, yeah, we've got a couple, or we got this and a final one
This year, yeah.
this year to wrap it out. So make sure you get it in. We'll send you your own little piece of Christmas cheer, because apparently it's all about giving.
Yeah, and you know what? Christmas comes but once a year.
I love it.
Well, we play a little game called Riddle-Ink, and I think you're going to like it. It's a game where it takes two halves of a two. Wow, I can't. How do I introduce this? It's a game with a 2-part trivia-based question and requires a 2-part but overlapping answer.
That's
it
the
is.
NyQuil talking.
Woo. Yeah, we're fighting off a fever here. So, for example, last week we were talking about what was the dozen? What was it?
6 of one, half a dozen.
6 of one, half a dozen.
We need to finish this
Matter
off
at all.
quick.
So, our riddle link that we left for everyone was Batman and Robin are sometimes called this Latin word for 12. You got it?
It was
You don't
6 of
remember
one.
the word?
No, it was duo. It was duodeca or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, good enough. The dynamic duo is Batman and Robin, and duodecum means 12 in Latin. So the dynamic duodecum.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So that's how it works. So we got
Great.
a couple for today.
Well, I'll start you off with something that's a little partial challenge.
Okay.
Half of Dumb and Dumber. You're still with me?
Yeah.
Is an annual event.
Is an annual event. Half of Dumb and Dumber. So let's see. There's Jim Carrey or there's Jeff Daniels. Is a what? Annual event.
Is an annual event idiom.
So Christmas comes. Oh, his character's name. What's his first name? Something Christmas comes but once a year. Lloyd Christmas. Lloyd Christmas comes but once a year.
There it is.
Lloyd. Okay, good. Okay, I got one for you. Better do something because this season has a single occurrence for these insects with forceps-like pinchers on their abdomen.
Oh dear. Christmas comes but once a year week.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
It could just be longer. I forgot what you said when you started. That's okay. That's okay.
That was good.
Yeah. This is one in 365-day festive idiom. Cleaning oral cerumen.
We'll say that again. Cleaning
Oral. A-U-R-A-L.
Yeah.
Cerumen.
cerumen.
Yeah.
Do you mean cinnamon?
No, cerumen.
So Christmas comes but once a year. Cleaning. Ear
Picked a weird word.
Ear candling.
Oh, you're like dancing all over
Ear
it. Candle.
Ear candle?
No.
Oh, ear wax. Christmas comes but once a year wax.
There it is.
Okay.
Isn't that weird? Funny to think earwax has a Latin name.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cerumen.
Hilarious. Okay, well, I got one more, but Skinny, I'm going to tell you to bite your tongue, and we're going to leave this for everyone out there so they have a chance to engage and possibly get themselves a T-shirt.
That sounds great. We'd love to give them away.
So here's one. This man with a nickname needed to see the scars on Jesus' hands. See? Real meaning of Christmas. Sorry. This man with a nickname needed to see the scars on Jesus' hands to believe before he wrote, "For Christmas comes but once a year."
Wow. Okay, I think I got it. We've enjoyed putting today's episode together. We hope you've enjoyed listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
I am Skinny.
I am Jurassic. Merry Christmas, Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
Christmas comes but once a year.
Last 3 minutes gone.